You have entered the true.
Hey now, greetings, people.
And another thing with Dave Smith. What's up? It's your favorite music junkie, Dave. Hey, just like to very quick, Shane. I am not political? Question mark.
Hmm.
Okay, what is that about? I'm tuned in.
Yo, Junkie Dave. The Daves unite. What is up, my brother? Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, I was just getting started. And what that is about, that question, I'm not political. So I've talked to two people. I had a blind date, well, first date with this chick tonight. She's like, I'm not political. And I didn't push it, right? Because, it's kind of a date and she's cute and I don't want to fuck that up. But I was talking with somebody in stereo and I did push it because I didn't push it, but I drilled deeper, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't like to get political. And they were like, well, I don't know too much about it. I don't follow it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense, right? And that's a wise thing. I do the same thing. I try not to comment on any, like I don't talk about baseball, football, basketball. I don't know anything about it. I don't follow it. I know the game. I used to play it as a kid, but I don't follow it. I don't know any of the players' names. So I would sound like an idiot, right? So I don't know it. So I will defer to the people that know the game. So I get it from that standpoint. But then when you pull back the lens, like everything is political, really. Like, do you want clean drinking water? Oh, well, that was the Environmental Protection Act. That was a hard fought political battle. So, where do you draw the line, right? Everything is political. Housing is political. And there's about to be 1 million more homeless people in the United States. 1 million people are going to be evicted from their homes this year, right? As far as I know, this is the largest mass eviction back to 2008 when 5 million people lost their homes, right? So apparently we have about 600,000 homeless people nationwide. So we're looking at possibly tripling that number this year because America, fuck yeah. So everything is political. And what upsets me is what people mean by I'm not political, I think, is I don't want to get involved, right? It stresses me out. I don't want to get involved. That's fine. That's fine because, to each their own. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm begging. I'm not telling though, right? I'm begging. I'm begging people to be an engaged member of the society. Like, the bumper sticker, freedom isn't free. Well, that always talks about the military angle, right? Like, oh, we got to go over there and kill them so that we can vote here. Well, no. Right now, there's hardcore legislation trying to make it getting, harder to vote, right? Like, I forget what state it was, but a state passed a law where you can't give people that are waiting in line to vote water or pizza. For some reason, they specified pizza. I guess you can give them a hot dog, but you can't give them pizza. So that's pretty funny. But, so by us not paying attention and just going to Burning Man or whatever, I've been 3 times, so I'm not dissing burners. I'm just using that as an example, right? Like, dude, I just want to go have fun, bro. Like, we only get one life, and totally, man. Come on, cowabunga. Let's live life, bro. Well, you can do that and chew bubblegum at the same time, right? So by chewing bubblegum, I'm talking about like holding people accountable, holding people's feet to the fire. And, I didn't give a fuck when I was in my 20s. So to anybody younger that's listening, dude, I get it. Just, whatever, do you. I'm not trying to guilt trip anybody. I'm just kind of talking about my own journey, really, is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to point a finger at anybody. I was completely politically ignorant up until my, early 20s. I mean, not ignorant, but apathetic. And for a different reason. I'm 50. Every leader of mine was assassinated. You know, both of the Kennedys, um, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know, on and on. So, Fred Hampton, you know, all the Black Panthers were either set up or murdered. Um, you know, I could go on and on and on and on. But through the Freedom of Information Act, we've now learned that the FBI was complicit in the assassination of Martin Luther King and Fred Hampton, and that the CIA was probably involved in the assassination of Kennedy. You know, and why are these things pertinent? Because, hello, 9/11, the big fat elephant in the room, right? So nobody really knows for sure what happened on 9/11. But what we do know is that some fools with box cutters did not, you know, thwart the U.S. Safety net for the only time in our country's history, and not once, but 4 times the same day. Yeah, no, that's the most unlikely thing, right? Like if you're laying out every possibility on a table and then giving it like, well, you know, what percentage of a chance do I think that had in actually happening? Yeah, some dudes from Afghanistan, like, or actually they ended up all being from Saudi Arabia, and but we never investigated that, and it all got swept under the rug. And there's the dancing Israelis, and there's Dick Cheney and George Bush testifying together, right? Like, what's the first thing you do? No matter how petty the crime, you split the two guys up and you intimidate the hell out of them. Like, hey, your buddy said you did it, and you tell the other guy the same thing. Your buddy ratted on you, man. Are you gonna come clean? Right? That's like, I know this from just watching fucking LA Law. You know, so come on. That's policing 101. But, you know, so the fact that they let George Bush and Dick Cheney, the two biggest suspects, testify together says a lot. You know, the fact that the building's pancaked, which has never happened before in history, never, ever, ever. There was a building in Italy that had a fire that started on the 15th floor and burned up, and it burned for 15 hours. Still standing. Trade Center's burned for an hour. So I don't know what the fuck happened, but whatever did happen, it's the only time in history, right? And people were murdered that day. So by quote unquote not being political, I don't know. Doesn't everybody want to find out who was responsible for that? Don't those families deserve that? That's the angle I come at it from. And a bunch of those families have sued the government because they feel like the government's withholding information from them. Right? This one story I heard was harrowing. This guy's son came out of the lobby and had all of his skin blown off. So, like, what the fuck? The lobby, the ground floor? Wait, I thought the planes were up there. So anyway, I don't want to dwell on 9/11, but it's just, you know, everything's political. The drinking water in Flint, Michigan, that's political. You know, the Keystone Pipeline going through sacred and a waterway of Native Americans, that's political. You know, the fascism is political. Democracy is political. And if you don't pay attention to your democracy, it slips towards fascism, is what our history has shown us. And there's this crazy thing, you can Google it, like the 10 steps a country takes towards fascism. And we're at like number 8. It's pretty crazy. There's like a checklist, you know? Yep, Stalin did it, all these 10 things. Hitler did these 10 things, and, you know, and it doesn't even matter who of the two parties we vote for in this country, both parties are accomplishing that same checklist. So one party might be a little worse at this, one party might be a little worse at that, but they work together behind closed doors. Trump and the Clintons are really good friends, and they go to cocktail parties together, and they laugh at us, right? So don't be that person that's like the fucking Republicans, the fucking Democrats, because that's exactly what they want. And what are the Republicans and the Democrats? They're just puppets that are controlled by corporations, international corporations that have more power than our government, right? And, you know, so the people that we're seeing, they're the ones that can afford to be lost, right? Those are the ones that are held out in public in case they get assassinated or whatever. But the real people in power, you'll never see them. And the more powerful somebody is, the safer they are, right? Like the richest people in the world, you will never even know their names, right? Like the Rothschild family, but try to name them. Who the hell are they? I don't know, right? Good luck. And you'll never know, right? But they'll throw a George Bush right out in front of you because he's the sacrificial lamb that's just telling you what his boss told him, right? And for people who don't think that I'm just getting all like Alex Jones on you, check out if you don't know about there's these three groups that basically decide who our political leaders are going to be, and that is the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderberg Group. So, these are meetings that are held with the richest people in the world and government leaders, and they decide who the next leaders will be and what the course of action of the next, decade or, whatever their vision is. That's where, George Bush and his New World Order thing, that's part of that. But anyway, we'd love to hear some questions, comments. Anybody got anything on this? Come on, chime in. I'm going to go ahead and share this.